happy gardeners, welcome back to Stinky Ditch Nursery. We've got Katie on camera. Say hello, Katie.
Hello.
You join us at the end of January in the UK and it's a beautiful sunny day. If you have a chance to get outside in this beautiful weather, do it. Get outside, take your shoes and socks off and stand on the cold ground. It's good for you. It's good for you, it really is. Just a little bit, but a bit of that every day. See what it does to your stress levels. Anyway, today we are planting some more seeds to get going on the windowsill inside to put in our hanging baskets in the summer. You can go out and spend a fortune at the start of the summer, or you can get some stuff going from seed now. Makes it very, very cheap to do. For this, we will need a few things. We will need a container to grow our seeds in. We will need a seed mix. I'll show you how to make that in a minute. And we'll need some seeds, and we're going to be growing some snapdragons. Now, snapdragons are beautiful, beautiful plants to grow. They're quite easy as well if you know how. I've grown them for years. I will follow this right the way through until we've got them in the baskets. I'll even follow it through and show you how to feed and water your basket regularly during the summer months so it doesn't go all like that. Now, snapdragons, as a kid, I was allowed to grab the sides, this is why they're called snapdragons, grab the sides of the flower and pinch them slowly so the flower opens like that. Fascinating stuff. But for some reason, I wasn't allowed to pop fuchsia buds. What's that all about? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make our seed mix. Now, Katie, if you can spin in, I'll just sort of show the people. We got a bit of gritty sand going in there, like that. We got a bit of topsoil in there, like that. And we've got a bit of old grow bag. Use something that is peat-free or a bit of multi-purpose compost. Just make sure it's peat-free. And we're going to give it a bit of a sieve, like that, with quite a fine sieve. That's how big the sieve is, like that. There we go. And then just mix it together until it's all the same colour. And that is our seed mix. You can just go to the supermarket. I always say the supermarket, you can't get seed mix from the supermarket. Go to the garden centre and just buy yourself a bag of seed mix, or just get some multi-purpose compost and mix it with some gritty sand like I showed. Or just use multi-purpose compost. The main thing is to get it nice and thin, you know, nice and fine like this so that you get good contact with your seeds. And so what we will do now is we'll fill up our pots. I've got a pot here. I have smashed some holes from the bottom with a screwdriver. There's some screwdriver. I just put it on there and I smashed a load of holes. This is like Groundhog Day. And this is the thing with gardening. It's repetition, repetition, repetition. You're doing the same thing over and over again. You start to see the subtleties and the beauty of how things germinate and how nature works, really. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop a little bit of seed mix into our pot like that. There we go. I'm going to water it before we sow the seeds because the seeds themselves are ever so small, and they will float about all over the place if we do this afterwards. So now I've got a bit of water on that. Bring it back up here. Hopefully that will drain through nicely. And it is. Katie, you can show the people it draining through. Oh, we've got a little buggy in there. There we are. You can come over here. There we are. And now we're going to sow our seeds. Now, anti-rhinum seeds, snapdragon, are very, very small. I'm going to open it from the bottom of the bag and I'm going to make sure I'm not going to rip off any information. Like this bag, it says it's got 750 seeds in here. So we do not want to be planting 750 plants in there. So I'm going to rip off just the smallest corner of the bag and I can see, or I can feel, there's a few seeds here. Can you see those seeds, Katie? See how small they are? Ever so small little things. I'm going to tip those into my hand along with, and as always, do not blow into the bag. Just get something in there to, I know it might be a bit fiddly, but if you blow in the bag, we've got 750 seeds in there. We're not going to sow them all at once, and the rest of the seeds will go, they won't be good if they get damp. There we are. So I've got a few seeds in my hand like that. Remember that these are going to turn into whole plants. So just from these tiny little seeds, isn't that incredible? All the information to grow a plant is contained in one of these little things. And we can't make them, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot make them. So let's be careful not to destroy all of them, because then we won't have anything. And then tapping the side of my hand and forming a little groove like this, the seeds will start to wiggle out like that. There we go. Now I'm doing them in lines, as I always do, because if you're not familiar with the seedlings that are coming up, if you get a line of the same thing coming up, you'll know what's what then, and what's a weed and what's not a weed. There we are. Now, excuse me. Anti-rhinum snapdragons need UV light to be able to germinate, and so I'm going to cover this with a fine coating of gritty sand. This gritty sand will allow, I've got mud on my nose, this gritty sand will allow the light to get through to the seed and do what it's meant to do to germinate. So here we are, a bit of gritty sand, and there we are. In fact, I'm going to do a bit of an experiment. This one here, there we go, that's covered with a nice bit of gritty sand. There we are, that's what you need to do. Stick the label in it. Now I'm going to pop that in another container with no holes in it, and I'll put a couple of holes, something in there. So you don't want it sitting right at the bottom. I'm going to put a couple of stones in there to hold it up. And this is just so it'll sit on your windowsill nicely and not get water everywhere. But we do want the drainage. We don't want the things to be sat in water. I'm going to do another one of these. That got holes in? Yeah, that's got holes in. And we're going to give it a fine coating of compost instead of the gritty sand. And we're going to see which one germinates best. That's what gardening's all about. Bit of an experiment. See what works. There we are. So do the same thing. Pop it down there. Give it a water. This is how quick it is. It's not, well, not that you want it to be quick. It's a lovely job to do on a Sunday afternoon. But it's not difficult. It's not difficult. And as I said, the more you do it, the more familiar you become with everything, and it just becomes almost like a meditation. That's what gardening's all about. Here we are, Katie. So again, same again. Groundhog Day as we go. There we are. Look, a few seeds in my hand, quite a few there. Let's go put a few more back into the packet. Because these will turn into individual plants. You've got to remember that. They won't, and you'll have them overcrowded. And there we are, it's tapping them off into 3 little lines again. And now I'm going to give that just a fine coating of the compost. Like this. And there we go. I'm going to stick a label in that. These are going to go onto the windowsill at home. Nice sunny windowsill. Well, not too much. What am I trying to say here? You want them quite warm, but you don't want them glaring sun on it so it dries out too quickly. Sunny windowsill. East facing, west facing, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to stick them on the windowsill. We're going to come back to those in a couple of weeks and see what's going on. With a bit of luck, we should have more germinating in the one covered with the sand than we should with the one covered with the soil, but this is nature. Who knows what's going to happen? This has been Robbie Phoenix down at Stinky Ditch Nursery with Katie on camera, just showing you how to get a few snapdragons going, and I've used a dwarf variety here. It says Tom Thumb Mix. These are quite small snapdragons. You get big ones, small ones, because I'm going to be putting these in hanging baskets. Thank you for watching.